Picture this, 2011. A man is sitting in a brand new Ford, paid extra for the fancy package, doing 70 on the interstate with his kids in the back seat. And he's cold, so he reaches for the heater. Except there's no knob, there's a screen. And the screen is thinking about it. He taps it, nothing. Taps it again. The screen locks up, goes black, and reboots itself while he's driving. Kind of like a office computer on a Monday morning. That system was called My Ford Touch. And I want you to understand, this is not me piling on one bad product. This is the moment the whole industry showed you its hand. Because here's what that screen did to Ford. On the record, in 1 year, J.D. Power's initial quality survey dropped Ford from 5th place to 23rd. Consumer Reports cut them from 10th to 20th and said the touchscreen was the reason. And Ford's fix? This is real. They mailed 250,000 customers flash drives so people could install a software patch on their own truck in their driveway, like a man updating his home office printer. Welcome back to the You Own It Zone, Part 2. Last video, I showed you the prison, the $5,000 tail light, the truck that treated you like a trespasser. Tonight I'm showing you how they built it. 2008 to 2015, the years the trap got sold to you as a gift, and you said, thank you very much. Here's what makes this era dangerous, and I mean dangerous for the man shopping used trucks right now. And this is going to go over like a turd in a punch bowl for some of you guys, but I'm going to be honest. The trucks from these years, still, they look fixable. Pop the hood. There's still an engine you can mostly see. Belts you can reach. A guy walks the used lot, looks at a 2012, and his hands tell him, I know this truck. Well, his hands, they're half right. And half right is how you get taken. Because this is the era where every convenience came with a wire. And the wire ran somewhere you couldn't reach. Voice command sync for your phone showed up in around 2007. Now the radio's a computer. Push button start. Now the key is a computer. Touchscreen climate. Now the heater is a computer. One at a time, each one small, each one sold as look what it does for you. Nobody ever asked the other question. What does it do to me when it breaks? And Bill, you remember Bill from the other day. Bill never asked that question. Of course he didn't. Bill asked what the payment is, whether the screen is bigger than his neighbor's. Bill was the beta tester for all of it. He paid extra to debug their software on the interstate with his kids in the back seat. And when the patch came in the mail, Bill installed it and felt like he was part of the future. Now, straight talk, because this matters for part 4. Some of the machines from this era are genuinely good. Some of the best working trucks ever built live inside these years. That's exactly why the You Own It Zone list exists. To split the keepers from the traps. Model by model. The poison in this era came mixed in with good stuff. That's what makes it a whack-a-mole and not a total shit show. All right, now the engine bay, because the same trade was happening under the hood, just wearing a lab coat this time. 2011, the half-ton pickup gets a new flagship idea. Take a smaller engine, bolt on 2 turbochargers, and let software make it act like a big one. Better mileage, big towing numbers, best of both worlds, right? And listen, the concept works when it's healthy. It pulls like a freight train. I'm not standing here telling you turbos are a hoax. I'm telling you to count all those parts. Where there was once a simple engine, now there's an engine plus 2 turbos, an intercooler, a tangle of boost plumbing, and a computer conducting the whole orchestra every millisecond. Every one of those is a part that can fail, and almost none of them announce its failure in a way a man can actually see or hear. No smoke, no knocks you can chase with a stethoscope on a Saturday morning. Just a light on the dash and a code behind it. Even the quality surveys of that era saw it coming. Buyers were already reporting engines and transmissions hesitating, stumbling over their own fuel economy software. The machine wasn't broken. The machine was negotiating. And here's the shift nobody announced. Your grandfather, he diagnosed his truck with his ears. Your father, he diagnosed his with a test light and a vacuum gauge. This era, the diagnosis moves inside a computer. And the good scan tools, the ones that see everything, they're priced like a used car. Oh yeah, and they're licensed like software. The wrench didn't get taken from you in this era. It just quietly stopped being enough. That's the convenience trap in one sentence. They didn't lock the hood at this point. They made what's under it mostly, unreadable. And now the second piece of meat tonight, the smallest crime of the era, and the one that tells you everything you need to know. They took the dipstick. Seriously, go look. On truck after truck, car after car from this era forward, the transmission dipstick, the little loop your father taught you to pull, wipe, and read like a doctor reads a chart. Gone. Deleted. The hole isn't even there anymore. The industry's word for it is a sealed transmission, filled with, and this is their phrasing, lifetime fluid. Lifetime. Whose lifetime, you son of a bitch? Because when you read the fine print, lifetime tends to mean the life they designed the thing for. The warranty window, give or take 100,000 miles, I guess, on some. The fluid doesn't last forever. Heat still cooks it. It still wears out. Every mechanic on the face of this earth knows it. The only thing lifetime about it is that you're not invited to check on it for your lifetime. You want to check that fluid now? Here's the procedure. The truck goes on a lift, leveled perfectly, engine running, transmission brought into an exact temperature window. You confirm with, say it with me, a scan tool. Then a check plug underneath, a special pump to add fluid from below. A job your father did in 90 seconds in the driveway now needs a lift, a laptop, and a procedure sheet. And here's the knife. AAA, not me, AAA, notes that some of these service plugs carry paint markings, so the factory can tell if the seal's been broken. Tamper paint on a fluid plug, and breaking it could put your entire warranty in question. Understand what that is. That's not engineering. That's a no trespassing sign posted on the inside of your own truck. The dipstick was the one instrument that let a working man interrogate his own machine. They didn't improve it. They amputated it and called the stump a feature. So let's call this era what it is, the Borderlands. 2008 to 2015 isn't the prison that comes after, and it isn't freedom that comes before. It's the years the fence went up, one polite post at a time, while everybody was watching the screens. And I'll say this once for the comments section, these are rough borders, not customs checkpoints. Some 2014s are already prison. A few later trucks stayed honest. The pattern is what I'm handing you, and the exact model comes in part 4. Here's the pattern, worth more than the list, if you think about it. Every convenience is a trade. Every button that does something for you is wired to something that can do something to you, if that makes any sense. So when you walk that used lot and your hands tell you, I know this truck, ask the second question. Not what does it do for me? What happens to me when it breaks? The man who asked that question can't be trapped. Not by a screen, not by a turbo, not by a sealed anything. Because the trap only works on the man who never looks past the bait. The next video, we crossed the border going backwards, before the screens, before the seals, mechanical workhorses, the trucks they built when the customer was a man with tools instead of a subscription with a pulse. Proof? Bolted together, million-mile proof that they knew exactly how to build a truck you could keep forever, which means everything that came after was a choice. I'm the Highwayman, and I'll see you at the next exit.